Thank you so much for talking to me again. Albeit today, there has been a case, right? There has been a court hearing. The continuation of the three accused, yourself, Kemo Fati, yourself being Saiboo Camara, Kemo Fati and Aliuba. So the court case proceeded today. And actually, it seems like they've dropped one of the accused. What's that about? I actually just came in at that point. Perhaps we can take it on from there. Some of the applications at the beginning. What happened?
Yeah, so thank you very much. We are back to the course today in connection of our press conference that we had 16th of September 2025 when the Auditor General was forcefully, unlawfully, unconstitutionally removed from his office, orders from the office of the president or from the president. So when we were arrested, we were four, myself, Omar Saiboo Camara, Kemo Fati, Aliuba and Momodu Camara. Momodu Camara, who was not part of us at the time, was moving on the streets to go on his normal daily business, and he was also arrested and then detained with us and charged and brought to court. And ourselves have been advocating for his release, because he was not part of us. He doesn't even know what was happening. He was not in any way connected to this. So today, when we came to the court, we find that the prosecution has filed an application to have him released and discharged from the case, which have been done, and then the court proceeded with the three accused persons, that's, myself, Aliuba and Kemo Fati.
So I saw it continued, and of course the prosecution was called the first witness, who was one Dauda Jalo, the superintendent commanding officer commanding for Serekunda, apparently. And he said that they went with 50 people, 50 officers, about 50 officers, to come to the NAO, and they actually dispersed some of the journalists. Later on, yourself came with a lot of people, but he only mentioned your first name, Saiboo, and he identified you. Yes. So, but at some point, it seemed like the magistrate was having an issue with the way that the prosecution was, the lawyer for the prosecutor, the police prosecutor, was helping to identify you and the others. What can you tell us about that, interaction?
Well, so we have seen the first witness called by the prosecution team appear before the court today, and of course it's Dauda Jalo. I know him very well. He was the officer commanding on the ground,
yes,
at the National Audit Office, and then he claimed to that I led a group, yes, because the journalists in the first place were brought there, were called by GALA for a press conference. There were no separate groups. When they came, they found those people set up and they dispersed them. We were right there. So when we came, he tried to disperse us as well. And then that's what happens. And he said, I led the team. I am proud to lead any team that is going to defend democracy and human rights and the constitution in this country, even though that's not the case. And then when he came, in his testimony, he said, he asked me if I have any documents,
yes.
He never asked me if I had any document that qualify us to hold a press conference. What he did was to tell us that our appearance there was unlawful and we were supposed to disperse. I am the one that raised questions, and my first question was, tell me what law in this country says citizens cannot hold a press conference. And that's the conversation I had with him.
So what he's saying is not true. He did not request for any document.
He did not request for any document from me connecting to a press conference. I'm the one, is in the record. Yeah. We can go to the archive. Yeah. I'm the one that asked him, yes, what law says that we cannot hold a press conference? What law bans us from holding the press conference here? Can you cite any legal clauses or sections that said? He said he doesn't know, but he received a command that we should disperse. This is what happens. I am shocked that he swore by the Holy Quran and said a whole different story here. But we allow the court to continue, and let's see what the second witness will say.
And then we observed that towards the end, he was asked a very critical question by lawyer LS Camara. The only reason that you were arrested was because you were trying to hold a press conference. And he responded to say, yes, that was true. They were doing a press conference and they did not have any permit for this. What's your reaction to this?
So that was the only question I wanted the defense counsel to raise, and that is going to be the determining factor for this court case, because in fact the witness contradicted himself. He said when he was called as officer commanding, he was told there was a protest happening at the National Audit Office. But now he said we wanted to hold a press conference without permit. That is contradicting in itself. But that's the case. We allowed the council, our defense counsel, to handle that, to see whether there is any legality attached, whether it's unlawful for citizens to hold press conferences in this country. Then we'll pick it from there.
And he even alleged that there was chaos and that people were shouting.
Well,
yeah, before you were arrested, and actually
he said there was chaos.
Yes.
Of course there was chaos, but what he failed to say was who created the chaos. I am glad that he said they called for reinforcement for a team of less than 50 people gathered for a press conference. The paramilitaries came, and then that's where the chaos started. Throwing tear gas, arresting people, and then brutalizing them. That was the chaos that happened, and that was sponsored, commanded, and led by him.
Okay. And then finally, we saw that there was some challenge with regards to bringing witnesses. Your lawyer was pushing to try to get the next hearing as soon as possible and for the prosecutor to bring all their witnesses, but the prosecutors seem to be dragging their feet. They want to be bringing one witnesses. And in fact, they also try to object to produce all their witness statements that they want to use for the case. What's your view?
Well, I think I will have to say this. The prosecution is kind of appearing very funny for this court appearance. They are taking this for some ping pong game, and for them it's a delayed tax to deter us from the streets. What they fail to understand is that I'm waiting for the judgment for this case, but any day it worth it for me to take the streets, I will take the streets. Any day it worth it for me to add my voice in accountability, transparency, I will do so. Any tax, because 3 witnesses can come a day. So I don't know why they are delaying having 1 witness per day, and also we cannot have the case dragged as soon as possible. If they want to waste our time, they waste their time as well. What they cannot do is, I for one, Omar Saiboo Camara, any day there is a need to take the streets, I will take the street without having a two-mind that there is a court case waiting for me because I once took the streets. They cannot use this as a tactic to silence me or to silence us. It will not happen. So it's better they fast-track the case and give a judgment. Maybe that could deter us. If they send us to mile 2, that would have been an easy tack, that delaying the case and appearing every time, because that will never stop if there is a need to take the streets and if there is a need to defend freedom, justice, and to promote accountability in the Gambia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.